But good evening, folks, and thanks for coming in. Hope you had a great week. Friday again, another week closer to Christmas. And as you know, we've no backdrop tonight because we just couldn't be annoyed putting it up, basically. That's the only reason. So we've got Sarah and Laura, and we've got the lovely Kat, and we've got the wee chap himself, William Armstrong, for Paranormal Exposures. So William's a fellow Glasgow boy, so I can talk like this all night and he'll understand me. Kat probably don't understand me.
I understand everything.
You understand everything. So it's good to see you again.
Good to see you as well, guys.
It's been quite a few months. I don't know how long it's been.
I don't even know how long it's been since we were talking to you guys. It's been a long time. Many trips that you've been to Loudon-Kirk without us now. So.
Never heard a word of that.
Many trips that we have been to Loudon without them now.
Oh, aye. My hearing's away in this year as well. I'm buggered. I've got a cold, I've got a cough, and I've got no hearing in this year. So I'm slowly blowing apart bit by bit. And don't bother, Kat, because you've done that before to me.
No, you're just stupid.
Do you know what I mean? That's an old one.
Old age comes to us all, unfortunately.
Well, I'm dreading hitting 40, I swear to God.
Did you not hit 40 like 17 years ago?
Yeah, but no, we've had quite a few trips to Loudon. We were meant to go the other night. We might go Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
But like -10, you know, and we were loaded with the cold, so, and Laura wasn't feeling great either. So we kind of abandoned that idea. But well, we're also working back because we've managed to team up with the owners of the Dempster cottages, Ladyton Farm, where James Dempster and his family stayed. It's still the original buildings, and they're in the middle of kind of trying to renovate, you know, try to restore them to what they used to be like. So we've been very, very lucky that way that we've got access up there now as well. We've done one investigation there, but it wasn't great. We didn't get a lot of evidence. There's Mr. Thompson in, Mr. Eric Thompson, the good-looking guy. Same as myself, Eric. Not as good-looking as William.
What mirror have you been looking in?
William.
You didn't get a lot of evidence. Yeah, you didn't see that, heard that marble getting dropped. And I taken 4, 5, 6 pictures in consecutive order, and there was like a mist, remember, on the photos, and it can't be explained.
Oh, aye, that's right.
That's right, you get the photographs which we can't explain. There was a kind of mist going across it. But when you look, when the photos were taken, there wasn't any mist. It was an old barn, sort of playroom. We heard what we can only describe as a marble rolling across the floor. Sarah and I both heard it at the same time, and it turned out that the area we were in, it's where the kids used to play. But I went outside to see if there was any other cause for the noise, whatever, but there was nothing. But we definitely heard it. Yep. But that's about all we got that night. But I think because we've not been up at the farm before, that it's going to take some time, you know,
for things to progress.
I think because we've been doing Loudon for about 2 years now, and it took some time to, you know, make progress here. So we think the farm's going to go the same way, which is fine. You know,
that's one of the things that I like about you guys more than a lot of teams, because you guys go back to the same place and build a relationship with the location. Whereas a lot of the teams that I see nowadays are, what's the biggest, coolest place? And, you know, I see it a lot with where I work, that they come in and they're like, oh, have you been here? And I'm like, well, no, because I'm at this place like 4 days a week. And, you know, it's I feel there's more value in building a relationship with a location than there is as going to a place and having been one time and then saying, "Oh, well, I've been there."
Yeah.
And I really respect you guys for what you do with going back to the same place and trying to dig deeper each time.
Well, thank you, dear Kat, for the compliment.
I know.
Me included. Me included. Yeah.
Shocker, really?
I know. The Bob includes wrong.
I actually do like you, Scott. It's okay. I'll admit it, even on a live.
She does like me. So you can't take that back now, Kat, because you've said it on a live.
I know.
Must feel like Christmas for you, Scott.
That's a compliment. That's like 2 compliments within a minute.
You're welcome.
Inside, I am welling up with emotion and gratitude.
And sarcasm.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But I try to keep it contained within my inner self. I try not to display
Yeah, please don't cry.
outward, and I'm talking all the crap.
What drugs are you on?
But no, you're bang on, Kat. We're Loudon. We'd been going for about a year or something, and we were getting evidence, we were getting bits and pieces every time, but it seemed it came at a certain point where the whole atmosphere shifted. You walk in, they obviously use have been there with us. You walk in the gate and you feel, well, you always felt welcome, but it's hard to describe. I don't know if you can describe it. Because you used to be scared stuff again down the back.
Aye. Round the back, it just felt a total different atmosphere. It was as if somebody wasn't wanting us there at that back. But now it's totally different. Like, we can all wander round the back and there's not really much an atmosphere now. But I think that is because we're going back time and time again and spending time communicating with Mr. Dempster and whoever else is there. So they're not seen as a threat now.
Mm-hmm. But I leave you with teams that go to what they want to go to the biggest and the best location and stuff like that, and fair play to them. That's their thing. That's what they want to do. We've done it now and again. We'll go to the odd location and then no get back. Because you're more than anything else. There are a couple of cases we've been back a couple of times, but we Loudon, we're kind of hooked on Loudon now because we know who's there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we're getting little kind of snippets every time. And it's curiosity, but it's also, you probably feel the same way in Romana, it's also a way, because these people had lives, these people were, they were people. And it's also a way of bringing their story out. That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Record keeping back in the day wasn't really that great. So you would have maybe a number of people who just fell through the cracks, Maybe people who would have turned up there who would even know what their name was, so they'd be given a different name,
Mm-hmm.
It's just a place where it was. And try to find records of people, it's not as hard as you think, but there's still a lot out there that don't have anything. Mm-hmm. Especially since there's also a Pottersfield somewhere that we know within the vicinity of the manor that contains X amount of people that were buried in there with it, they don't even have a headstone, no a name or nothing. Will we ever find out about these people, who they were, what their names? Probably not. But you hope that you might catch something at some point, that leads you somewhere, to maybe get a person's name, to put a name to a face.
It could be a name or a date or anything. And even if you get a date off them, you can go and maybe have a look at that date to see if anything, significant happened or whatever. I mean, it's just, Loudon, when you were there yourself, it was quite overgrown. There was a lot of bush and all sorts, but the friends of Loudon Kirk.
Yeah.
they've spent a lot of time there, and they've done an amazing job so far with clearing a lot away. And as you know, there's a lot of headstones that were, you know, in amongst the trees and what have you.
Yeah.
Some of them you can see quite clearly now.
Wow.
And there's still others that are still kind of buried.
Right.
Outside it, so you really need to get into the bushes because, you know, there's somebody in there, there's a person in there.
Right.
But they've done an absolutely amazing job with clearing. I don't think they're finished. They're probably finished for the winter, mind you.
Right.
But they're anywhere near finished. But I don't know if you remember when you're looking up towards the Dempster plot or to the right-hand side, there was trees and bushes and brambles and everything, and there was a massive big headstone that was more or less buried in there. Well, that's all clear now, because I was there. When did we go? Last week?
Yeah.
We went there last week, and you could walk right up to it now.
That's amazing.
And it helps us as well. It helps us find, you know, other headstones, other people, etc. And as you say, when we Edinburgh Manor, I find that place fascinating. The relationship you've got. Where does
I mean, the one thing I will say is, but it's such. I think every team out there has one location that they keep going back to because it draws them in for whatever reason. Whether it's the style of the building, or whether it's the history of the building, or whether it's so much is unknown, so they want to figure it out. You know, each team has that. Like you guys have Loudon Kirk, right? For a team, it's Edinburgh Manor. For other teams, it could be underground vaults in Edinburgh. It could be something else. You know, but every team has that one location, and Edinburgh has that unique background. Not just being that, you know, what it is now Edinburgh Manor, but when it was prior to that, it was a poor farm. So you have that history as well, that a lot of it's still unknown.
So what drew you to Edinburgh Manor? I mean, I know, you know, you worked there and what have you, but what was the kind of draw to it, spirit-wise?
The first time we went out, it was just for a tour. And we went back for several tours. We brought friends with us each time. And it was just really different. The place was just interesting. And then we ended up doing an overnight with some friends. And we didn't even get that much activity, but it was just, you know, the draw of it was the building, the uniqueness of it, the way that it looks in the daylight, the way that it looks at nighttime. It just has its own personality. Even when it's quiet, it has its own personality. And that's just really what makes me like the place so much. And again, it's not our closest location. There's one that's closer, that's like 10 minutes up the road from us, but it's not the same type of facility. For me, I like knowing that I can communicate with people that probably didn't get a lot of interaction when they were there. You know, it was a poor farm. They probably had no visitors. They probably had no family, or their family may have been right there with them. There's patients there that are still residing there as spirits that I have communications with every week. And for me, that's special, and that's different than I can get with any other location. And I just am really thankful and grateful that I have that opportunity.
So what kind of experiences you have? You see patients there that, you know, you experiences every week. What's kind of, you built up a relationship with them?
Yeah, so one of them is a gentleman named Jerry. He is on the first floor most of the time in the men's wing. And I use a voice box or ghost box for communicating most of the time. And I use it even on tours if the groups let me have it. And the cool thing is like, I'll go into the space where he regularly is, and I'll, you know, introduce him the same way most times. You know, this is where Jerry lived last. This is the bed that Jerry last resided in. We know who Jerry is. He's a real patient. He lived there from 17 into his 70s. So this was home for him for his whole life. And sometimes he'll talk to us through a spirit box. And then every now and then, it's not every tour, but it's at least a couple times a month, he'll say, hello, or it's Jerry, or something that people are like, okay, seriously, where's your guy that's hiding and using a walkie-talkie to answer you directly back from that little box thing that's talking to us? Because he gives such clear and direct answers that it's like, oh, well, wait a second, that's Jerry. He just said his name. He just said his name this week again, and the group was like, no way, that's not. And it's kind of mind-blowing when they're seeing that it's an actual intelligent interaction, even though they've been to places before. It's it's genuine, and it's on point with what I'm saying and him responding back. And there was my favorite Jerry story, which has been a while now, is I usually, when I get in, I do a walk through the building. So I go through and make sure chairs are put in the places they're supposed to be, and toys are picked up, and beds are made. And, so I go through the men's wing, and then I go up the stairs and finish the men's floor. And then I go over to the women's side. And I had just hit the end of the women's side and was getting ready to finish the last couple of rooms on that floor. And I have a man's voice over on the far women's side. And I'm like, well, who the heck's over here talking to me now? It's Jerry. And I'm like, okay, Jerry, what's up? And I couldn't understand what he said, but it was a very urgent sounding voice. And then he says, missing. And I'm like, well, I'm going to finish up these rooms. I will get to you in a minute, Jerry. It's a conversation. He's a person like I'm a person. He's not physically in front of me all the time. And so next thing you know, he said something else that was kind of frantic. I'm like, okay, never mind. I'll go downstairs. I have a thought on what it is that's missing. I get to the top of the stairs before going down, and he shouts, stolen. And I'm like, oh dear. Because he has a book that is his. Somebody gifted it to him in the afterlife, and it's a Davy Crockett book. And Davy Crockett's one of his favorite things from when he was alive, and apparently has stuck with him into the afterlife. And so I get down to the room, and sure enough, his Davy Crockett book is not on his bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody stole his Davy Crockett book. Oh, wait, never mind. Jerry, it's right here on the next bed over. You made me come all the way down here because the book's on the wrong bed. Are you serious right now? He replied with laughing at me. He genuinely laughed back. And I'm like, so I picked his book up, I put it on his bed. But, that sounds so not real to anyone that hasn't had a relationship with the place. That is a relationship with a place. And I am just like super thankful that I have that. And there's a lot of people that have a relationship with Jerry. He knows people when they come back. And I think it's just amazing that he interacts as he does. And he tells people, hey, you're supposed to be reading me a book. And then, which book do you want? It's always the Davy Crockett book. It's just, it's interesting to see how all those interactions happen. And I can sit in there and read him his Davy Crockett book day in and day out if that's what he wants, It's pretty cool.
It's amazing to have that kind of relationship with, somebody. He's still a person, obviously he's in spirit, but to have that relationship and for him to, come all the way out to get you to say the book's missing, and he's kind of ripping the thing out you. I'm trying to think of a polite word for it,
Taking the mic.
What was that, dear?
Taking
the mic.
All right, okay, taking the mic. I think that's brilliant that he would do that, and just because he wanted his book moved.
Yeah. And the thing is Jerry doesn't talk to me every day. That's just one instance where it was very interactive. Some days I have not a word from it, and that's okay. And other days it's no more than just a hello or a hi. And that's okay. I understand that they don't need to, like, who am I that I deserve to get talked to at all, let alone trying to force them into having conversations with me. But, it's just really awesome that I'm able to have the interactions when I do. So.
It's really awesome. Don't use Kat's word, awesome that he's kind of picked you as, as person, basically.
Not necessarily. He interacts well with the lot of people. There's a gentleman that we actually have had out on an investigation with us before that used to work there. And we were doing an Estes session in a room that Jerry is not normally in. And Jerry came to the room and had a lot of very emotional things to share with that gentleman that was the guy that took care of him before he had been moved and passed away. So he didn't die at the location. He died at a skilled nursing care facility about 9 miles away a couple weeks after they moved him out. But he came home to the home that he knows. But he very, very emotionally attached to the gentleman that took care of him as one of the staff that was at the place when it was still running. So that was really cool also.
Do you think he get such a bond with the building, except because he didn't really have much else in his physical life?
I think so. I mean, a lot of people that were put in that place, you could put family in there if you didn't want them, or you couldn't look after them. So you put them in a place like that, and then simply walked away, which would have happened to a lot of people. We don't know much about Jerry's life when he was alive, so maybe it's possible that he was put out there when, as a teenager and just left, and then with the time he left the manor, also he's in his 70s. So that you can understand why he would be there. He come back there. That was his aim, The people in that place, not just the residents that were there at the time, but the staff were more like family to him than his own family.
Right.
Essentially, he has seen through his lifetime there. He has seen a lot of residents come and go. Some pass away. He's probably known a lot of staff that came and go. So it's totally feasible.
I think it's amazing how well he's not lost his Scottish accent, his Glasgow accent, do you?
No, she disagrees.
I think he sounds like he's not Scottish at all. He talks slow. He doesn't emphasize. He doesn't roll his R's like most do. He's losing it.
I think you're losing it slightly.
I
have said that because there's a lot more stuff that you say now that's more kind of this neck of the woods than Glasgow.
Sarah thinks I'm talking more Ayrshire than I'm Glasgow.
That's funny.
I don't know what you think. Obviously, you have known this for, I was going to say a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks, is it?
I don't know.
It's been a day or two. We've known you.
I still sound Glaswegian to you.
I sound Glaswegian to me.
Nah.
That's good enough. I'm taking that. I'm to get it round you. What's he saying?
As they say in America, bros before hoes.
I don't know if you've got any sayings with that out here, have you?
Folks say that here.
Did they?
Aye.
They try to be all Americanised. I've never heard anybody say that out here.
What, bros before hoes?
Bros before hoes.
Aye, we say a lot.
But no, go back. You find that one location and you can't explain the pull-up history, you can't explain what the draw is, but you just feel comfortable there.
Not always. Not always.
Not always how it's happened that you've not been comfy.
Well, I have been scratched many times. I've been pushed downstairs. I've been hit in the face. Those are not very comfortable moments. You stop and have to think, did they mean to hurt me or was it them trying to get my attention? I try to give them the benefit of the doubt that maybe they just really wanted my attention. But it does put you on edge at times. There was, how many weeks ago? I don't know how many weeks ago. I walk in the building. I'm doing my normal walk through. I usually do the basement last. And I get to the stairs of the basement and there is just this smell of like something died in the basement off to the maintenance room side, just to the one side. So I'm like, there's definitely something down there. Gross. I'm going to do the other side first and go back to that one in a little bit. So I get over there, it's so bad that I'm literally gagging. Like, it was terrible. I couldn't even like walk into the space to breathe. So I've got my shirt up over my face, and I'm trying to walk down there and just check. There's nothing down there. It just smells terrible. I don't know why. I left. I went back upstairs. I'm like, that doesn't make me feel good. I don't know why that happens. It's only happened twice in all the years that I've been going. But there's nothing down there to make that smell physically. And then I get the people coming in for the check-in. You know, I didn't go back down. You can smell the lingering stink on the stairs, but the basement's fine. And you can smell it on the center staircase and on one of the side stairs, but you can't smell it in the basement anymore, and you don't smell it anywhere else. I don't know what that is. And that makes you kind of question, like, what did that?
It does make you kind of wonder, it's no pipes or anything, is it? Something.
There's no working plumbing. There's no working water, any of that. It's not.
Maybe an animal or something.
But how would it have just gone away? If something went down and died, it would have been down there, and I would have found it, and then I would have had to clean it up. I've done that before too. We had a mouse that ended up in a can, and it stunk awful. But you take the can outside, and the smell goes with it. But I didn't take anything out. It just went away on its own. But it smelled like something crawled in a hole and died, and then it was just gone.
It's maybe William been taking his shoes off or something.
I seen a pair of small smelly socks.
His face, he's like, I admit it. It was me. No, he wasn't there. Oh, no.
Oh, you're off the hook then, young man. It wasn't your feet then.
I got a bass in that one.
So.
It was cheesy toes.
Oh, excuse me.
Is there any records, anything negative happening, or because sometimes these big buildings, you see in horror films, don't you? Where these big buildings are haunted, but there's always some bad one lurking about.
A lot of the county homes would have had one or two bad things happen. It's inevitable, when you through the years, and you have a lot of people coming and going. Paul is the one that sticks out the most. That's a stick out one.
There's been several suicides in the building, is where he's getting at. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have a dark or evil thing in the building. But there's definitely some things that are a little darker to interact with, and definitely some negative things that are there that interact negatively. The one guy in the basement, they call him the Joker. He's known for pushing and pulling hair and scratching and growling at people and turning people, like showing himself as an apparition and chasing people down the hallway has happened. Breaking dishes, throwing stuff, moving things. I mean, he's known for all of that. My personal opinion on it is there's probably more than one entity down there doing things, because he gets credit for like a full 6,000 square foot of space, which I think is just overwhelming for one spirit to be doing all of those things so much. But it's consistent. We get hair pulling almost every week. People are like, oh my God, I got scratched. And it's like almost every week that at least somebody says this happened to them in that space. So, take it for what it is. If you think that that's something negative or evil, then that's your take on it. I don't necessarily feel that's what it is. But I can't really say that someone else's experience is true or not true, because I wasn't there to have that experience.
Mm-hmm. I don't. Sometimes we've been lucky, so we've never encountered anything negative or anything.
No.
We ain't going to say demonic. We ain't going to do that road. We've never. At Caldwell, we had a woman. Mm-hmm. We called her matron. We didn't have a name for her, so we nicknamed her the matron. She felt like a kind of Nurse Ratched sort of figure.
That's fun.
And we did get some EVPs with a woman telling other people to, what was it, shush or something?
Shush, they can see us.
Mm-hmm.
Shush, they can see us.
Mm-hmm.
So we think she was kind of like the boss lady at one point.
But I think she didn't like us because we were trying to help the kids.
Aye.
Because the kids had told me and Laura that they didn't have a place to hide because she would find them and hurt them. So we were like, telling them obviously they didn't need to stay there if they didn't want to because they were passed over, blah blah blah. And I don't think she liked that.
I think she liked other females coming in and saying everything's okay, look, you can do this, you don't need to listen to her anymore, you can move on type thing. I don't think she liked that at all, and she was quite rude really to us, wasn't this once she said it?
Yeah.
It was sort of kind of territory, but the only problem with Caldwell is we couldn't check any out, records wise, because the records are sealed in the Mitchell Library in Glasgow for 75 years. So the records were sealed back in 1985.
Got a while to go.
Yep.
Still, I don't know, 30, 40 years or something to go. There is records of when it was built, who built it, who it was for, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But after it got taken over by it was taken over by the Government Health Board, 1923, I think it was. The records just disappear. There's nothing. So we've no way of checking, we go and what we've picked up for investigations. So we've no way of backing it up. So it's not a second guess.
Right. One of the things that I really enjoy, my friend Tori wrote a book on Edinburgh that has a lot of the records and the death records that she's discovered just through research and public record information. But she pulled up census records, and I don't know if you guys do that back there or not, but that was how we find and validate a lot of the names, is the census records are saying like every 10 years, these are the people that are there. So at least once every 10 years, we have a list of names that is public record of these people resided at this location. And so that's kind of one of the things that we really look at for, how do we know these people were there for how long they were. We actually are going to be back investigating there on November 10th and 11th. We're going to be trying some things we've never done before, but I think we have a connection for the lady on the stairs. Finally, she's been an unknown person for a decade now, and they've only had the name Rose. And it is very possible that we might be able to identify her as a real person on our investigation, and we're really looking forward to that. So
that sounds exciting.
He's doing this alive.
We will have, if it's not us, there's going to be a whole bunch of people there that will be going live on various stages of it. So Tori Westhoff is the one lady that has done a lot of the research. This is going to be her first trip to the manor, even though she's wrote the book on the death records. It'll be her first time there. So between her and our team page, and then we have the owner of another location is coming with. She owns a location in Kansas called McIntyre Villa. She's also coming out for this investigation with her person that she has worked for her at the villa. It's just going to be a really awesome weekend of a lot of really cool people. So we have like the potential of 4, 5, or 6 different people that might be live at various times. If I'm not live, I will try to share them to our page so that we can get them out there. But we're going to do something that I started from the first time that I got Tori's book, is reading of the names. So the book has death records for 234 deaths on site. And we read the names and we see if they respond. And I know that's going to be live when we do that. We're going to do, I would like to do the Rose investigation live. I think that would be a really cool thing to be able to share. If we can prove or document that, we really have, and we've already played around with a little bit. William and I were just there on Halloween morning, and I'm pretty sure we've got the right person because she answered questions with real answers on Tuesday morning, and I was blown away. So
wow.
It's when you get that bit of evidence, it's when you get that answer, you know, that goes exactly with what you've asked, and you realise who the person actually is that you're speaking to, whatever you want to call it. And it was the same with Loudon. We knew it was James Dempster, you know, that was there.
No, we had a suspicion.
We had a suspicion, sorry. And that it was him that was there. But then Rigger and me did an investigation early on this year. And we were doing it at the back, doing it at the plot. And Rigger says that he saw a shadow go from left to right. And then just disappear. I never get to see anything.
That's this guy too.
You're the same. Maybe it's because we're Glaswegians, Wally, and nobody likes us, but you don't see stuff.
I've seen shadow movement in the basement. I don't know if that's manner, but I don't know if that's just my eyes playing tricks. You know, like you stare at something for too long, your eye, you start rubbing at your eyes, and like, am I really fucking seeing what I'm seeing? You know? And it's always the dining hall section and the laundry room section of the basement, and all this is connected by a long hallway. And it's always something blocking it, one of the windows there. It's like it steps in.
Real. It's real.
Comes out and then steps in, comes out, and I'm like, is that something like it's not a car driving by, except hear a car driving around the manor. That's very audible. I know it's no windy outside, so nothing's blowing in. Like,
there's nothing there to blow.
I'm like, is something moving in it? So I tried it one time. I was sitting in a dining hall looking down towards the laundry room, and I kept seeing the same thing in one of the windows. So somebody, I think it's Carla that came down for our team. Like, Carla, can you stare down there and just tell me what you see? Just look, you know. And she's looking, she's like, what's stepping in front of the window? It's like something keeps like in front of it, away from it, in front of it, away from it. I'm like, is that just my eyes playing tricks, you know?
Our cat's a ghostbuster.
She's like, I don't know, but I keep seeing what you're saying. I'm like, I need to check this out, you know, and I couldn't find anything that would be like, okay, it was either A, B, or C, you know? But then if in doubt, throw it out, right?
Definitely.
But on also the talking about research, in the basement, there's an office section that's after the kitchen side. Is probably where, you know, people there would do their paperwork and whatever for the manor, and it's connected to the laundry room. There is a drawer there that when you open it up, there's a bunch of like it's little pill bottles and bits and bobs. But there's a couple of name tags in there, like wristbands, and one on there is called is a lady called Bernice Allen. If we had never found that, we would have never known she existed. That's how you know she's in the book. Is, you know, we found Bernice Allen. You know, if we hadn't found that, she never existed. But now she exists. We know she was there. You know, and it's little things like that that just kind of helps the research out. You know.
Aye, it's right. The pieces of a puzzle. You just you'll get bits and pieces, and they might not fit at the time, but later on down the line, you might get another bit that connects another two bits together.
Quite good logic for you.
Do you think so?
Hi.
See, I can't be sometimes.
I
know it's not a lot. But, you know, sometimes, but I was seeing Riggy and Riggy seen the shadow, which I never, yet again, I missed it. But he was, you know, he was determined to see the shadow, and Riggy, if he watches this, I'm not kidding. He's got this habit. See, when he's telling the truth, and I think this is weird, right? When he's telling the truth, his eyes water. That's what he tells me. He says, you know, I'm telling the truth because my eyes water. And he said to David in that another time they were on his team, you know, what happens? He says, I know your eyes water when you're telling the truth. Because I don't know how many
so he's just walking around all the time crying.
He might just be an emotional guy. I don't know. Bless him. I don't know.
Really, is your boyfriend? So
you shut up about boys.
I was going to say that. I know. I'm so glad you said that.
The truth's all coming out in this live, Scott, man. I'm trying to find it. You never know.
You're listening to William.
I go, you're dumb. Sorry, I've got somebody closer to home.
I'm sure you've got room in your heart for both.
There's room in my heart for the two of yous.
Aww.
Did you see it in his face there?
I know.
The eyes going from side to side. That's him getting emotional. That's him. He's going to. So when we come off of here, he's going to be crying and Kat's shoulder, saying, "I want to go home. I want to get back to Scotland."
I guess it could be though. You know, when you have a personal experience, it is emotional as well. You know, especially when it's a personal experience. You know, if you see a full-bodied apparition or something like that, there's emotion there as well. You know.
I possibly it's just a big wuss.
You said it, not me. And he lives close by, so.
But I keep saying, so he's seen the shadow, right?
Get on, man.
I'll get to the end of the road eventually. Don't worry. And before, when we spoke to James, then we say James or whatever, you go to nothing. So let's pretend I had the necrophonic on, and I says, "Was that you, Mr. James Dempster, that walked across there?" And we got we done it on a live actually, so it is on the page somewhere. And we got a very clear Scottish male voice saying yes, right on cue.
But why would he say yes and not I?
I don't know. Ask him.
I don't know.
Because it's only Glasgow Bams that say aye.
I saw you because he wasn't for Glasgow, he was for Dumfries originally. But we get quite a clear yes and direct answer to our question. So he likes to be he likes his name to be used.
Because he was not in the army and stuff, so was he not quite formal?
He was a colonel or something in the army as well. So he's quite sort of regimental and what have you.
Address him formally.
So, and if you don't use his full name, you don't get, he's not interested.
Yeah.
Basically.
No answer you at all.
But as we were saying earlier on about building up it's wee bits like this. You might get another team getting in there and they're saying, James, and they don't know to use his full name.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we've found out that's how you go. I'm not saying we're anything brilliant or special or anything, but we've put two and two together and, right, use his full name and you get a response off him. And it's when you get that personal response and you realise it is him, Laura's away for some reason.
She's a spirit now. She's an orb.
She's disappeared.
No, she's still there. She's just in the camera.
No, she's disappeared. Laura's going.
It's like you say, there's little tidbits that you find out and you can use, and it builds up the relationship. Like you with Dempster. I know what Kat was talking about Jerry. His two favourite things was also one was Davy Crockett, and two was drums, because he actually the place itself had a little band, I guess, so they'd sit and practice inside and outside when it was warm, and he played drums. And I know this is true because I found an article from the early 90s that talked a little bit of the manner and about the band, and it has Jerry Cole named in that article as the guy who sets the beat for playing the drums for the band.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go in there and you start talking about drums or you talk about Davy Crockett, he'll be like,
He'll be on it and he'll be, wanting to talk to you and stuff. And it's good, Hickey, but I mean, you see earlier on, Kat, but going, the teams go to one place and they get nothing, so they never ever get back. Mm-hmm. But to me, that's not what investigating's about.
Right.
And aliens kidnapped her, Eric says. Possibly. They'd probably send her back.
They didn't want her. They gave her back.
No. I can still hear you. I just couldn't see you.
But I think a lot of teams, and this goes back to TV as well. I think, they'll go to one location because they've heard it's really, really haunted. There's spirits and there's headstones flying through the room and all the rest of it, and they go and there's nothing.
Well, we done that with Ivy House. Because we were not
true enough.
Ivy House, and then we kept hearing about it, and other teams were saying, we went to Ivy House, it was absolutely amazing, and this happened and that happened. So we drove down, and it was about a 6.5 hour drive.
I was Warrington.
So we went down and it was dead.
Right, nothing. Well, apart from the cameras, really, and that weird light thing in the room.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's not to say that if we didn't keep him back, you know, all right, it's a hell of a trek, you know.
Right. And we're getting ready to do an equal trek. November 18th, we're going to a location that's about 6 hours for us. It's called Ashmore Estates. I know it's been on quite a few of the TV shows here in the U.S. It's another place similar to Edinburgh Manor, where it served as a poor farm county home for a while, and then it became
It was part orphanage as well.
yeah, it was part orphanage, and then later on it became a place for the incurably insane, kind of a mental hospital institute kind of a place. And we're going to be there on the 18th. It's a long drive. I hope that we get stuff. But, you know, there are locations that we do one and done. If it's a great location, I'm sure we'll make the trek again. But, you know, it's a long drive.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere in America is a long drive. I would imagine even going to the store is a long drive.
Really not.
6 minutes. 6 minutes.
Look, that says to Jennifer, it was ages ago. Because you are in, I bet I get this right. I want to say Iowa.
Iowa, yes.
Did I get it right?
Got it right.
I'll get Iowa and Idaho mixed up. I know two totally different.
See if you make it easier for you. See if you think of John Wayne, you think Iowa, because John Wayne was born in Iowa. They have in the town that he was born in, they have like a whole museum set up for John Wayne.
Right. Well, would they say I didn't know that, so I wouldn't.
So if you see John Wayne, you
Captain
see
Kirk is also from Iowa.
Captain Kirk and all.
Right, remember that Captain Kirk and John Wayne. And I'd say to Jennifer about maybe hooking up with you, and I'd say, so how long, you know, thinking maybe an hour.
Now, that's a at least, because they're West Coast, aren't they?
No, she's in Oregon, she's in
Yeah,
Madras.
so that's for us was probably a 28-hour drive.
Wow.
That's what Jennifer says, it's about a day and a half or something like that. I said,
Yeah,
but
probably 28 hours straight through.
they're kind of next door to you, they're in the next state. She says, but Oregon is massive. And so that's what I imagine anywhere is quite a trek for you. But I think, no, we've done a few locations, you know, one as a one-off, and we've come away empty-handed, but it doesn't really bother us, you know, because, you know, a lot of people say, oh, that was crap, never get nothing, what a waste of a night going out and, you know, all that kind of bollocks. But
Never.
It's never a waste of a night because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Unless it's freezing, then it's a waste.
Well, you wear your thermal light.
Cold is just the thing. We're good with cold.
Oh no.
Well, it's starting to get cold here.
It's team bonding.
It is team bonding, and you wear your thermal leggings. You know.
Scott, you're getting away all your secrets tonight.
I don't care. I've got a pair of, what are they called?
Fluffy women's leggings.
They're no women's guys.
They're no guys, they're women's.
But you know what? They're fluffy women's leggings. Fluffy lined women's leggings.
If they keep you warm, that's what matters.
Well, that's it.
Too.
I would rather look stupid than try to look cool and freezing my bollocks off, to be quite honest. Because I've been to Edinburgh Manor during winter, and it's fucking colder in that place than it is outside.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
It's that cold that it just cuts through whatever layers you're wearing. You know, it's that ice cold.
I totally agree. Well, I am man enough to say I wear women's leggings in the winter.
William wears lots of women's clothing, but we're not talking about that on this show.
I know, I'm not talking about during the summer.
That's a separate show, folks.
I'm not talking about private time. I'm talking about good investigating there.
Listen, I wear what makes me comfy. Yeah.
So if you want to talk about weird outfits, we have a two-week weekend. They take photos at locations. This is not even supposed to be public, but you know what? That's some weird stuff. We were at a hospital. They decided to dress him up in a nurse's outfit. And it's a Halloween costume. So obviously it's a risque nurse's outfit that he has been put into. And we're sitting in the command center. We're having a conversation. And then this creature on all fours comes bounding in from the hallway, growls at us with what looks like women's pants on, and then darts back down the hall. And I'm like,
William, you were like that, William. What are you doing? I've told you about that before.
it was not William, it was Ethan. And I'm probably not allowed to share that story, but hot damn, I was like, I don't even want to go back out there and investigate anymore at all because there's a chance of me running into that. And that's way scarier than anything paranormal.
So you'd a grown man with a pair of women's underwear on his head running about on all fours.
Well, 21, if you count that as a grown man, that's still a kid.
That's a typical night in Shortleys, let's be honest, guys.
That's a youth. It's a normal night. Here, you know. Walking about the knickers
Now
with
we
it.
know what Lauren's been up to.
Not in the gardens.
Not in the garden where we stay now. We're in a much posher.
Be quiet, you and your gardons.
We're in the
You know,
garden.
actually, see if I walked out the door and walked 2 minutes, I could see their house and wave to them.
Don't.
I keep getting threatened, don't. That's how close we are now. It's really, really bad.
No, rephrase that, Laura. See, that's how
baby.
we lived. That's how near we lived to each other. That's not how close we are. God.
I love you, Sarah.
But no, we moved about 2 months ago
Yes.
to a brand new residential area called the Gardens.
Yes.
Too close, far too close.
So I just like rubbing it into Laura and whoever else, you know, because I've got a carport now. Who's that?
Well, before Scott and Sarah moved, I was in the posh area of Kilmarnock, but now they're in the even posher area.
Yes.
Funny.
Eric, there's nothing wrong with having the odd fantasy, my man. You know, I was just getting images of William crawling about bare ass naked with a pair of women's knickers on his head, growling at people. You know,
This time.
thinking he was back home again in Glasgow. You know,
Feel like there's a night out in the town.
a night out in Glasgow city centre. Look,
At least it's no Helen Mirren. Scott has a thing for Helen Mirren.
Good point.
Helen Mirren is my celeb crush. All right, I openly admit it.
It's whatever floats your boat, boss. That's what it is, right?
Who's your celeb crush, William?
I don't know. Man.
Come on.
No, seriously, I don't.
His is Xena, Warrior Princess.
I guess.
Fair enough.
Well, no, Vincent Price.
Oh, Vincent Price is his celebrity crush. That is really weird and awkward, but Vincent Price is even tattooed on his body, and there's nothing on him that's of me. So,
I could tattoo a witch on me.
wow,
He's-
thanks.
I've got an answer for that.
But you know, you speechless.
You've got a crush in Vincent Price.
I'm a fan of his stuff. I've always been a big fan of his stuff.
You do know he's dead.
Oh, aye.
That's why he likes him so much.
All right, so you're a morgue.
That was good.
You're a morgue crawler then, are you?
I mean, if that's the official term, I guess.
You know, after hours.
Like that wee person.
That's Vincent Price. We've got 2 screens here. That's Vincent Price. That's who William has a thing for.
Wait a second. We'll put this up.
I'm just going to pop him up on the screen. Now, be calm, William. There he's there.
Kermit the Frog. You can just see Kermit laugh. You never watched a Vincent Price movie before?
I didn't have a clue who that was.
I heard it. Vincent Price.
So have you ever heard Michael Jackson's song Thriller?
Yes.
And the whole part where it's the guy talking?
Mm-hmm.
That's Vincent.
Ah.
You know, the woe to you, we earth and sea. That's Vincent Price.
I didn't know that.
House on Haunted Hill.
Last Man on Earth. What was House of Wax?
You learn something new every day.
So who's your celeb crush, Kat?
I don't think I have one anymore because I used to have this thing for Brad Pitt, but he got ugly.
Yeah.
Aye.
He got ugly. He was good in like 2 movies, and then no.
Williams Interview with a Vampire, if you want to know.
Yeah, one of them is that.
Right, so who's yours?
I've got too many.
She's got a list. You know,
Is that a list? We only have an hour show. Sorry, honey. No.
I've been Glasgow. I can afford more than one celeb crush.
That'd be free though.
I want to hear this Vincent Price. Oh God, come on, Rock. Seriously.
He's a man. He's a like I could sit and watch his movies all day. They're just fun to watch. You know?
Oh, he was a brilliant actor, you know, in that kind of sense, but I wouldn't say I fancied him.
And an interesting fact, actually, about Vincent Price, I've read his autobiography. In St. Louis, Missouri, there's a haunted location there called Lent Mansion. It's like one of the bigger locations. He used to frequent that quite a lot. We'd have dinner there with Charles Lemp, who's he's one of the spirits there, having committed suicide in the mansion itself. But he used to go there quite a lot, and he knew Charles Lemp. So I've always wondered that the next time I go there, I wonder if you could just pick on anything, you know, like if you could talk directly to Charles, like, hey, did you know a guy called Vincent Price? Is that something you remember, you know? Do you even remember Vincent Price visiting your house, you know?
We're hoping to get that one back on our calendar for next year. We haven't been to Lent Mansion since it'll be 2 years ago.
It's a fantastic location.
A lot of suicides.
3.
It's a great place. There's been a lot of folk killed us there. It's a fantastic place.
It's interesting because it's like a curse on the family, you know. There's 4 suicides, 1 on the property, but they were lager brewers, you know, and everything just like they were at the height of their thing, you know. They were wealthy, they were powerful, they had everything, and shit just hit the fan like real quick, and people thought it was like a curse and all this, and it's interesting when you dig into it.
When everybody's luck just seems to change, and there's no apparent reason for it. You know, you can't work out. You know, it's not a financial crash or you know whatever it is.
It's just it's crazy how it all happened. There's like 5 rooms there that you can rent, like, you know, for each night, and if you're lucky enough that your team get the 5 rooms, staff leave at 3 in the afternoon, so they just give you the keys to the place and be like, hey, there you go.
Oh, wow.
And staff leave.
Yeah, because it's an operational building. They have a restaurant still on site and a bar, and then it's a hotel. So you basically have the 5 different rooms that they rent out. So it's pretty cool.
You just need to get that back on your calendar. Sorry, Laura, I forgot to ask you. I'm just going to jump back to celeb crush. Who's yours? I forgot to ask.
I was rather grateful you didn't ask me. It's fine. Can we just skip
I'm
that question?
asking you, put you on the spot, so spill.
It's a female, and her name's Paulette Peretti.
Paulette Peretti. Do you know
Abby
Paulette?
from NCIS.
All right, Abby for NCIS. There you go.
Oh, I know who it is.
Okay, I agree, Laura. I agree.
Definitely.
Tables
I'm glad
of
my husband's not watching this.
Laura and Kat fancy a woman, and Wally fancies Vincent Price.
And I've got too many to name.
And you've got a big list, and I'm into Helen Mirren.
Right, she's got a big list of men and women. Don't let her fool you. I know this woman very well.
What can I say? I'm just greedy, right?
Name
I
one.
know, babe.
Name one male on your list.
One male.
Right. Name one female.
Shakira.
I was about to say Shakira.
Her hips don't lie.
fucking cat get it, but my husband doesn't get it.
Well, enough said about that one, Laura.
Well, that's true.
Shakira, you've got me sitting beside you.
But if your hips could do what her hips could do, then you have to be a crush.
Exactly.
Who says they can? Who says I don't practice?
I think for
I
your
want
age,
video. I want video.
Boss, there's nothing wrong with admiring nice architecture.
No, I know. I'm looking at Helen Mirren. She's a listed building, but she's still going strong.
Honestly, I think if you try to shake your hips, you probably shake yourself.
I love that.
It'd probably break a hip, to be fair.
Nothing wrong with my hip. Age is but a number. You know what I mean? But I need to ask you, would you be? I watched, well, Sarah's addicted to TikTok, so's Laura. I do watch TikTok. But would you make of these monkeys that are coming out saying that they're connected, communicating with all these dead celebrities, you know?
I think I know the guy you're talking. I know there's one particular guy.
I always goes in a huff. Whenever you slag him off, it goes in the right huff.
Me, it's tacky as shit. It really is. When they hit the thing with the Oceanic, the sub, that was what we were going down to visit the Titanic, and something went wrong, and the little sub pulled in, obviously. You know, it wasn't even 24 hours, and he's already talking to them. You know, or whatever device he's using. First off, how would they even know what you use today to use these devices? Second of all, if you're going to talk to anybody, you're going to choose the guy first. You're going to be like, I could go maybe try and visit family if I can, but no, I'm going to talk to this dude directly. You know, no, it's bullshit. It's tacky. It's tasteless. It makes a paranormal field look absolutely fucking stupid.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
You know, I'm talking to these people. The Queen just passed away. I know I'm communicating with her. You know, Matthew Perry just passed away. Oh, look, he was talking to me last night about fucking physics. It's tacky, it's tasteless, it gives everybody a paranormal feel a bad name.
There seems to be a lot of them springing up. I told William we joined golfing one. If I can get him to golfing one.
Can you?
Aye. You want me to do it?
I go.
Well, I get him to golfing one.
I go.
No.
I sent a couple of videos a few months back.
I know the videos, then that got me in a fucking like.
William made me watch a couple of those videos.
I had to make sure that I was watching what I was watching, so that I could have somebody else confirm, say, look, this is what I've seen in this video, this is what I think. Can you watch and confirm for me? Or can you put it a different way so maybe I'm watching it, you know, so I get a different perspective? No, Cab's the same. I'm like, what in the absolute fuck is this shit?
You talking about the sacks of breadcrumbs?
Aye, the breadcrumbs, aye.
That was that. I don't know. It just makes us look stupid. Like, ones are them trying to legit get evidence that
I've just got
the
what you're talking
paranormal
about.
through scientific means, through experimentation, research, all the kind of things. Then you have people like that get in and saying, "Oh, you have 6 demons in your house," and those 2. What? You know, no. I'm sure with some breadcrumbs and a fucking, I'm sure those demons are going to fucking leave, aren't they? They were like, "Oh fuck me, here we go." They broke out of a fucking packet of cornflakes and did a fucking weird shape. I said, "Boys, we're out. You know, we're done."
Sounds like every investigation we ever have.
The thing I found funniest about the videos is when a certain gentleman said, you know, obviously they said there were 6 demons in the house, but in the afternoon they'd get rid of 4 of them. You know, 4 of them had went home. You know, but they hadn't been able to film because there was so much happening. You know, but they kicked 4 out, and there was still 2 up in the loft. Well, 2 became turned into 1. You know, but these buggers, they were up in the loft, and she was going up to get them to ask them to leave, because that's what you do. If you've got a demon in your loft, you just go and see, look, going to go away. Please, you know.
Leave into the breadcrumb circle.
But then you just balloon down the stairs that says, if you...
I usually like to communicate with spirits through Snapchat pictures.
It's what?
I said I usually like to communicate with demons through Snapchat pictures and communications that way. So, like, I don't have to go up in the loft. Because if you just Snapchat them something and they can snap back and you can talk that way.
Because it's Snapchat icons we ghost. I got that, see.
See, I don't have Snapchat.
Sarcasm.
You there?
I drag him out with the strap on the neck, like, no, they soliciting.
But this guy, I mean, this guy was no, you know, he was not shy around a steak pie, shall we say. He was, you know, he was no stranger to a fish supper, shall we say. Know what I'm saying?
Scott.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed we were not shaming people.
No, he's one of these guys who get to McDonald's and order
I
things.
kind of feel sad because I kind of would like to have a fish.
You know, but, you know, this guy was just...
I know you're putting their cat after suppers now. Making I feel guilty for eating one.
I heard something the other day. I can't remember who heard it, but the guy says, I was sweating like a fat lassie in a chip shop with no money.
I watched that. What's that?
You seen it? Was
that?
It was TikTok.
I'm sorry, it was TikTok, but that's a fat lassie in a chip shop with no money. I thought that's a classic one. But anyway, this guy says to her, you go up in the loft, you do your thing, you chase the demon down here, and I will belly flop him. Did you mind seeing that bit?
I would hate to see it. Being you know, could you possibly do that? Physics behind that.
You can just imagine him standing there in his wrestler's outfit, waiting on it coming in, you know, with a mask on, fucking ready, just the belly flop the demon. Because that's how you get rid of demons. You don't need to exercise and throw Bibles at them. Sorry, Lauren, you go.
No, it's and it's.
You know,
No, you go, Laura.
see the thing you're talking about the guy. It was a priest, and he says, "I'm standing here," because he was talking to somebody, and it was a guy dressed up as a priest, and he turns. My legs have just went. And he turns around and just says, I'm standing here sweating like a teenage lassie in a fish and chip shop with no money. I saw that at all.
I think it's interesting how the darkness just took Laura away from
I'm like, why is not even off?
We can't see you. But no, I mean, I've watched the videos a few times, and I did just for a laugh.
I'm sure.
You know,
a lot of videos like you find them on YouTube as well, whether people, you know, entertainers got near locations and then they're thrown out. The night I was attacked by a demon by myself in the building, you know, or we've seen it, or they put out misleading information. So, like, we've seen it for Edinburgh Manor where there was like 2 separate videos where, like, yeah, they did electroshock therapy here. Well, no.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
You get it out here. Some of it is so bad. I mean, that the lady in that the videos, she claimed on a show once that she was a reincarnation of Maid Marian.
Oh, God.
The Maid Marian never existed. Maid
Me
Marian
too.
was made up to try to spice up the Robin Hood. There was a woman at the time, but she was not Maid Marian. Maid Marian was just a made-up figure. But
Right.
she was a reincarnation of Maid Marian. And every time she goes into Sherwood Forest, the spirits bow down to her. And that's just the stuff we're coming away with. You know, and as Wally says, some of the information they give out is totally... We watched one months ago, it was a couple doing a rundown on Edinburgh, locations in Edinburgh, and they covered the vaults, the Nidri Street South vaults, and it's a vault that Jamie Christopher runs, and this guy showed a picture, and he says, Mind this.
Aye.
This is a well, and it's 400 feet deep. And people used to throw people down here, you know, as punishment or whatever. You never saw them again. It was a load of crap. The photograph that he showed had actually been turned round. I mean, you get to the vaults, there's a corridor. You walk in, and if you turn around and look up, there's a corridor up there. That's the entrance to the old morgue. It's an actual corridor. But the angle that he showed the photograph, it looked like it was in the ground. And I'm watching this, like, that's not that's the corridor that leads into the morgue. It's now the storeroom of a pub. There's a pub next door to it, and they use it as a storeroom. But this guy's on it, he's 400 feet deep, and he used to throw people in there.
Well, it's also, it kind of hurts locations as well, and it's misleading information. It can hurt locations. If people watch these videos and they're like, oh, there's like 3 demons there, let's go book it for the night and see if it's real. And then nothing happens, so they're leaving bad reviews in these places. It hurts a location, you know?
Aye.
Especially when your information is garbage, you know, like the electroshock therapy at Ender Manor.
Yeah.
They said something about electroshock therapy and then they showed you a room with a bathtub. No, water and electricity, right? That the Gila, what do you get?
Death.
Murder. You'd be charged for murder for doing that to your residential patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hydrotherapy, maybe. That's not confirmed if that was done there. Electroshock therapy would have been done at the Independent State Mental Hospital because that was a state-of-the-art facility at the time and they could do these things. Edinburgh Mark, couldn't they? If people were like, yeah, they did this and that, and like,
Yeah.
you know?
It's just really annoying. I mean, we try and be as accurate as we can, but we're never 100% right. I don't think anybody is. You know, you're never going to be 100% right about what you put out. But if you don't know it, don't say it.
Or if you get it wrong, say it right. Don't be afraid to correct yourself.
I mean, we done a thing in Henry VIII last night, and I did say, look, some of my facts and figures might be way off, they might be wrong, so I do apologise if they're, but we can't get it right all the time. But it's just when these people go in and it's just blatant. It really, you know, another quick example is the Nidri vaults in Edinburgh. There's a stone circle in it. You've probably heard of the stone circle in the Nidri vaults. A team went in there and they did this so-called medium. And she was going up mind. Mm-hmm. She was walking back and forth, and she said, oh, there's fire and there's brimstone, and she kept slapping herself in the head, or like this, you know. And she's saying, "I sacrifice here, and don't get near the circle because there's fire coming up through it." And she was really dramatic. I thought it was amazing. She was really good, really convincing. And so a couple of weeks later, I was talking to Jamie Christoffin in Edinburgh, and I was saying, what's the story with the stone circle? You know, in the vault. He says that was put there in 1984. He says it was leftover brick. We went on the other vaults, and I says to the owner, do you want these? And he says, I'll put a circle in one of the rooms. So he put it there for effect. But this idiot, and then she was saying, another one was saying there was babies buried in the walls. Mind that? Mm-hmm. And there was cows. There was cows or cattle. She says cattle coming through the walls and stuff like that. This is how
that's weird.
It's when they touch the walls, you know. There's babies buried in these walls here. You think that's a load of bollocks. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
There might be. How do you know?
But the stone circle one, he says, that was 1984. That was put there. I just left there a brick for the walls. You know? But
yeah.
So many people have visited there and go, I can feel something in here. Don't stand in the circle. Don't get near the circle. And it's a lot of, you know, and as you say, it can hurt a location, or it can build up expectations for other teams getting in there. You know. And then they go in there and it's a complete flop. Well, we actually investigated the vaults shortly after the other team, and we ended up leaving early. Because there was absolutely nothing. We were meant to be there till about 4 a.m. or something. Mm-hmm. And I think we left about 1 o'clock. Yeah. We left about 1.
I still want to go do the vaults just because I want to investigate the vaults.
Mhm.
No, they are good. They are good.
Aye.
I'm not disrespecting the vaults. The vaults are amazing places. It's just when you get these people that go in and they make up all this crap about them.
I know there's this one guy, his name is Scott, who makes up crap about so many places.
Is he,
This guy.
is he good looking, but
No, he's got no hair. Wears glasses.
Oh well.
does he look intelligent?
Absolutely not. He's got his fingers in his mouth. Tongue hanging out.
Right. So he should be like, he looks like he should be sitting in a cardboard box, basically.
That's where I met him, actually, the first time.
Is it?
Was in his cardboard box.
I can believe it.
No, I think the first time, well, the first time was the only time. First time I met you, Kat, I got sarcasm straight away. Because you were actually in the wrong place to meet us.
Something like that, yeah.
Remember?
But it wasn't our fault because we had a driver.
That's
Well,
true.
aye, but you were maybe somewhere like that, totally different. And then I get the text message saying we're at Tesco and Kilmarnock. I thought, what the WTF? I'm being friendly. WTF are you doing there? It was totally wrong, but no, I got sarcasm off of you, Kat, which was lovely. And then I couldn't see William. What are you doing there?
Fun size, party size.
You're short, I said, but that's the peak time with Glasgow people. We can slag each other and it's all good banter.
Okay, dear.
Know what I mean? We don't take it personally.
Okay.
I mean, when Kat calls me ugly and stuff, I know it's not true.
He's secretly going to cry himself to sleep now.
I didn't call him ugly. He just called himself ugly.
True.
I'm going to go in the carport and wrap myself in duct tape.
That sounds like a great idea.
Pictures that never happened.
You're quite hairy though. Half it's going to hurt.
Well, it beats waxing, doesn't it? True. Know what I mean?
This has been the weirdest podcast ever.
It's his fault.
But don't you find they're the best?
Yeah, we learned a lot of things today.
Oh, we did indeed. But you get podcasts, and no disrespect to them, but I've said this many a time, they're very serious, and they'll say, good evening. Tonight, we're going to do tarot cards. And you just want to go and find a rubber spoon to hit yourself with. Do you know what I mean?
Why a rubber spoon?
Because the metal one hurts me, the rubber one doesn't. And you just want to go to your own funeral. You start planning your own funeral minute by minute. What songs you want, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it's Tuesday night, it's tarot card night, and the first card is, you think, oh Jesus, know what I mean? And so you need to make your podcast different.
So you don't like tarot cards?
I don't use them. I don't. She uses them, does she? She uses them. I love them. Love them.
But you would have more enthusiasm and soul when you're doing it.
I've never had a soul. I don't know what you're talking about.
Enthusiasm. Well, that's a bit of BS. No, I'm not in it. Well, it's never something we've. Don't disrespect everybody who uses them, including yourself, Kat. But we just don't bother with them. But I mean, people like do tarot cards, that's fine. I'm not saying anything against that. My point is that some people need to liven up their shows a wee bit. Do you know what I mean? No.
I'm just kidding.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
I'm just kidding.
You can't really take her serious, can you?
No.
You just want to put one of these
Kind of hard.
and see what happens, don't you? Aye, Owen, what? Fingers up.
Not up your nose.
Don't do that, you'll bust your spot. You
I
twat.
don't have a spot. I don't have a spot. I got a spot last week right there. As soon as if you can hide it. You know what I mean?
I don't see it. You're good.
But you kept picking it, so the spot turned into a scab, so you kept picking the scab, which kept making it worse.
I need to stop kissing old pensioners in the bus station. That's what I need to stop doing.
I told William not to do that either, so I understand.
Must be a Glasgow thing, you know, the Cannon bus station.
All time sake.
No, you were told to stop licking the lampposts.
I like in the lamppost, especially when it's cold.
I did during winter.
When it's minus 30 and you're stuck to a lamppost. You know,
Yeah, well, within 30 minutes, I'll have frostbite on my fingers and toes.
what about your tongue?
I'm got a tongue as well.
Do you know what Laura did the other night? Tell them, Laura. Come on, tell them what you did.
No.
Well, yeah, I'll tell them there. I don't care.
What tell him?
You tell me.
She licked an ice cube and it stuck to her tongue.
I've done that before.
It was so sore. I must have eaten something right during the day, and my tongue was beginning to swell, and it was quite sore. So I thought, in infinite wisdom, I'll go in the freezer and get an ice cube, and I'll just let it melt onto my tongue. That'll be perfect. But I forgot that the ice cubes actually stick to your tongue, so I actually had to rip it off, and in doing so, I ripped the whole skin off my tongue.
So if you drink something, it will make the ice cube come off your tongue.
Oh well.
Not that I've done it before. Not that I've done that myself.
Okay. I
Kat's
don't
done
know.
it too.
What's the daft thing you've ever done?
You don't want to know.
No, I mean legally.
I did have stuff all the time.
Stuff you don't get arrested for.
I don't know. I don't know.
She's a smart woman. She doesn't get arrested for anything.
I the daftest thing I've done is I did a streak in Glasgow once.
Oh dear. I'm glad I was not there for that.
No, I was young. Well, still I'm young, but I was about 17, I think, at the time.
So about 6 years ago.
6 years ago?
6
years ago, so it wasn't that long ago.
No, it was about 60.
And it was one of these drunken student parties. You don't know anybody, but you still go.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Are you even a student?
No, but my mate she was a student. I says, "Well, having a student party." I said, "Well, I'm going." You know, and so it was one of, but you didn't know anybody, and we did me and this other guy did a streak up to the STV studios, Scottish Television, Cat, that means, in Kirkcaldy in Glasgow, and then back to the flat, and we get caught with the police.
Oops.
But give the police their due, they found the funny side that they asked what is, you know, they kind of says, "What the fuck are you doing?" And we turned around and we says, "We're having a party up the stairs," and somebody kept chapping the door and running away. So we're out trying to catch them.
Did they not question why you were
So
naked?
they kind of asked what kind of party we were having, because the two of us were standing there ball naked with a dishcloth to, you know.
I cover the privates.
The utensils, shall we say, and you know, and so what kind of party you're having, and so I think that's what the daftest thing I've done. Who's next? Come on.
I don't think anybody else is sharing. You're good.
No. I think we should just wrap it up there.
Is it good?
I think that's
boring.
it has traumatized everybody.
We no longer have any viewers. Everybody left sick.
Everybody's away. We're left.
It's not about numbers, you know. It's about just coming on and talking crap.
Well, you certainly
Nobody knows the story.
Well, I like to share.
No,
You know? it's the same as nobody needed the Vincent Price image, you know. But that's
like an
stuff.
investigation. You go to a location all the time, you learn little tidbits, right? Well, every time you do one of these, you'll learn tidbits and all.
Right, okay. Well, we'll wind it up there anyway on that note. So where can people find you?
We are on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. All of our pages are just Paranormal Exposures. So pretty easy to find us at all of them. Or just Will and Kat Armstrong on Facebook. So
So give them a look up, folks. And they will be back. And the next time we'll just be talking mere gibberish.
Probably.
Because, you know, what's the point of being serious? Is there any point in being serious?
No.
No, there isn't a point in being serious, is there?
No.
Too much seriousness in the world today.
yeah, no.
You need to bring a little ray of sunshine and a little will.
And a little Will.
You, Scott, are the old sunshine lights up.
No, that's the glare off of his forehead.
That's on Will.
He was trying to be nice there, Kat, and you just ruined the moment.
She got it perfect, though, right?
It wasn't wrong.
You know, you just that. That's like swimming. You know, floating in a lovely swimming pool on a nice hot summer's day. You know, you're just lying there in heaven, and somebody comes in and takes a dump in the pool. It ruins it all for everybody.
That was you, wasn't it?
Aye, I saw that in Benidorm. That was on Benidorm.
You done your blind pair, Cat?
Sorry.
Yeah, see what happens. See what happens when he goes down. Just look at our screen when he moves forward.
See, look.
Shut up, the lotties. Sorry. Aye, so we're going to wind up here, folks. I'll keep a hold of you two after we can walk, by the way.
I suppose.
So a big thanks to Will and Kat for coming in and talking crap for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
57 minutes and 12 seconds.
Well, it wasn't crap for an hour and a half. It was maybe half an hour of serious and then an hour of gibberish. But however, and thanks to Laura and to this in here as well.
Oh, this and I don't even have a name now.
And thanks to Sarah as well for coming in. So we're going to wind up here. We'll get back Sunday night with mediums Julie Holiday and Helen Duggan. I hope to hell I said her name right. And then we've got a few shows lined up next week for you as well. So thanks for watching, folks. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you later on. Bye.
Bye.